Hey, what is up guys, Marcy here, back to do another video, and today I'm going to showcase two games that I think are worth showcasing. Anyways, I haven't been posting videos in a while. You did see, though, during that absence that I posted the greatest tip vapor bomb of all time in my YouTube shorts. I rarely do post shorts on YouTube, but when I do, from now on it will be very special occasions, but that, let's just say, did not come along too frequently. The tip vapor bomb. I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you haven't watched it already, then I recommend you do after this video. Anyways, I'm going to be playing as the Reaper 17. This is going to be on R21J, the newly released patch. You can see the changelog for that in the video description. Did spend the most part of a month working on this update. Was a tremendous amount of time. I dedicated a lot of my free time to this patch. As a result, I have been pretty tired because I have been extremely busy in real life as well as doing this patch. I had to take a few days just to chill and relax a little bit, but I got this patch out and I'm really happy about it. Did make a small mistake in one version prior to J, which is I accidentally made blue flame infantry too powerful, but that was not a typo. That was rather just a flat out mistake that I made, but that is now rectified in this version. There's a couple new maps in this pack. Might showcase a game that I played on one of the new ones, which I thought was pretty cool. Not the highest skill level in the world was witnessed in that game, but still I thought it was pretty fun to play and maybe to watch. So what do you guys think? Should I post more videos more frequently on this channel? I often wait before I get games that I deem are, you know, worthy of showing. I've got two here which I definitely do believe are worthy of posting. Very rare games that turn out to be different than your standard ones. Reaper 17, usually it's all about taking up to tier 3 as quick as possible, getting those tripods out, getting that blue shard hexapod out. Now, just kidding, nobody gets the blue shard ravagers in their hexapod, even though it is what you can do as Reaper 17. Flame rush coming towards me. I've got the seeker tank. Left the defense a little bit too late. I'm going to put this lightning spike behind the flame tank just so it can get that rear damage on it. That's going to do a 50% additional damage. Look at that damage. And that flame tank, as a result, is already down to half health, almost going to be destroyed. And my opponent here did a very good job in microing his flame tank around my refinery. I cannot get this dev tank for the life of me to kill that flame tank, but the refinery does go down, so ultimately that worked out very well for the Black Hand player. Forced out all of that response from me, as well as him killing the refinery. Got the disintegrators here, which are just scouting the map so I don't get hit by reckoners. No reckoner Kane. I got the top of the map scouted. I do still maintain my tip spikes, but not for long though, as that flame tank will destroy that one there. I actually lost the spike near the blue Tiberium field, so I'm on a spike deficit compared to my opponent. I'm gonna have to do something about that the longer this game goes, but I feel like I'm gonna get hit by 2 War Factory. That's why I'm not expanding. I've got 2 paths I can take here, or rather 3 paths. I can go for an expansion and eco up normally, but I think I wouldn't be able to hold it off, the aggression that he will do. The other option is I can go for Storm Riders, 2 gravity stabilizer Storm Rider. A little bit dicey though against the bike buggy, especially if you can't kite them in the map. If they end up being in your base, then it's very tricky in that situation. The third option is to go for a tier 3 and mecha spam. And mechapeds in this patch have received some love. They are a lot better than they were. They've been nerfed for many years in this community patch, but they are more like what they are in vanilla 1.02. Pretty much what they are in 1.82. So they're not going to have that 10% range reduction on the shard segment to fix the anti-air segment from not being able to shoot aircraft, which was a bug in vanilla. CGF's fix, quote-unquote fix, was to nerf the shard range by 10% and not even document that change. Well, we've seen mechapeds not perform in recent patches, so nowadays they have no longer got that 10% range reduction. Drone platform going for an expansion now. I'm going to just build up these mech beasts. There's no point really moving out with 2. And I think with all the blue Tiberium that's on this map grown by now, and I have 2 spikes less compared to my opponent, it would be best to sink all this resources into building these megapedes while also expanding to the blue Tiberium, because if I can get that blue tip, I'm going to be able to recover very quickly from this mecha spam. So the drone platform is moving its way towards those tip spikes. Are going to drop a portal when it has deployed near the blue field and then capture those spikes. Some of that blue tip has been harvested by the blackhand player. Now I have to deal with these scorpion tanks, which are upgraded with the dose blades. They're going to get a 20% increase in armor, which is very deadly. These mechapedes are going to be microed. You can't really move with mechapedes. You have to pay a lot of attention in controlling them. Otherwise, they will just get focused down very quickly, like you saw there. One of the mechapedes does fall immediately. So the second you look away from these is the second they're going to all get destroyed. It's a bit like stealth tanks. It's a bit like zone trooper hammerheads. One mistake and they are gone. So here is the portal. I can go for a stasis chamber here. Then cut my opponent's army down to half. It's great to use a stasis shield with mechapedes now, because nowadays you won't get your mechapedes caught in the stasis shield after the stasis shield has been used. Another mechapede almost going down there. It must have been one shot away from death, but those scorps are really the hard counter to these mechas. And I've got mechas in the bottom as well as patrolling the top of the map, because I suspect that there could be some flame tanks. One flame tank is all that it takes to end me. I've got these dev tanks out and about as well. One in the top at the blue field, just in case there's a flame tank there. I'm also going to be able to defend my spikes as well versus those captures. Found a blue tip harvester, going to take that out. And now these mechapedes are going to have a tough fight ahead of them here. But this flame tank in the bottom may distract my opponent long enough. There's a battle marker in my base. Flame tank there destroying the tier 3, but there's no defense in the expansion field of my opponent, so that's going to be bad news for him. I got a stasis shield here, which I'm going to desperately need to use against these scorpion tanks. I'm going to lose the game here and now if I don't cast this. Going to pull these forces back. There's more scorpion tanks, so yeah, low eco game from both of us. I killed probably one harvester at most. That's not going to be anywhere near enough to offset the damage I have taken from those scorpion tanks and flame tanks. Yeah, destroying my tier 3 is a big deal. I did use my stasis shield. I'm going to try and cut off these forces as much as possible, microing the wounded mechapedes back so I can keep them alive if at all possible. And these mechapedes are going to be cleaning up here. One of the mechapedes, 2 of the mechapedes goes down. So yeah, I traded 3 mechapedes goes down. So yeah, this is not a fault of my opponent here. He's doing really good in focusing down those mecha heads. And I'm almost dry out of Tiberium. And I know there's an army of scorpion tanks yet on this map. I got 3 mechapedes and 2 dev tanks. I'm going to have to make use of every asset I have on this map. One almost full load of blue Tiberium there. And the thing about these gravity stabilizers is that my opponent cannot see them. They are tucked away at the top of the map. A very rare location to place gravity stabilizers. I'm going for 8 Storm Riders this late into the game. No one will ever expect it because I don't have any refineries and I'm using all the resources that are coming in, spending it on those Storm Riders. It's $1,500 for a singular Storm Rider, so it's going to take a while to get all 8 up, and I'm going to have to micro these mechapedes back. He's focusing on that dev tank. Can't blame him. That's a very high value target. Gets destroyed. Trades for 2 scorpion tanks against that, so that's a very good trade for him. I don't really need that stasis chamber anymore. And what I can do here is use these harvesters to take the Tiberium that's closer to me. I used that Icor Seed not before selling the tier 2 off. And now here are the scorpion tanks in my base, and I was like, oh crap, my units are completely out of position. Let's just send the mechapedes into his harvester line and return the favor. If I don't kill some harvesters whilst these scorpion tanks are taking me out, that's going to be a big problem. I'm going to accept some harvester losses, and I'm going to go into that undefended base of his. And now the Storm Riders are coming in. They're going to take out several of these tanks, harvesters going towards that green Tiberium field. I'm going to trade some of those harvesters there. Blackhand player going to pull his harvesters back to the War Factory, and now there is an army of tanks to respond to this, but he needs Mantis now because there's 8 Storm Riders which are cleaning up shop here. 3-4 of my harvesters goes down, but I was able to save some of them, which is key. That one may even be full of blue Tiberium. And the Mechapedes are still alive. I've got 3 harvesters. I think I'm a little bit unhealthier when it comes to harvester count, but I do have control of the 2 tip spikes. No expansion field established just yet for me, but I'm going to get down finally a refinery there. And I've got harvesters on my mine. We're going to go straight in for the kills. Mantis are out, so yeah, that's going to be the end of the Storm Riders. Mantis have received tweaks in the latest update. They reload 1 second quicker now, so they are a lot better at killing aircraft. You can imagine with Tipcore how that'll do, but it's going to help Blackhand tremendously against the one unit they struggle to kill, which is Devastator warships. They really do struggle against those. Tripods and Devastators, a very lethal combination against the Blackhand faction. But the Mantis are completely out of position, and I'm using these fast attack units to kill the harvesters. This is the thing about Blackhand, they don't have stealth on their harvesters, so you can harass them with Storm Riders. This is the only Nod faction where a Storm Rider transition will work, because they don't have any stealth. So yeah, you can kill harvesters if you have the opportunity to do so. So what, 10 minutes into this game, I finally have set up an expansion, which is pretty crazy. I maintain 3 of my Megapedes alive. I've got that gravity stabilizer at the top of this map. I'm going again for a tier 2 because I need to spam units, combat units, because there's going to be a counter attack. I've got a death tank situated on the left hand flank, just in case there's a flame tank there. We all know Blackhand can just sneak in one flame tank and change the game in their favor. They are very powerful, especially when upgraded with that purifying flame. Not only do flame tanks and purifiers and infantry get purifying flame in R21, but also the Redeemer, if it has a Blackhand squad inside of it, will benefit from that purifying flame upgrade. It provides it with a 35% damage increase. That is not a small amount of damage. So yeah, the Mantis and Scorpion tanks, they are pretty safe and sound to stomp all over my base. I've only got 3 Mechapedes there. Harvesters going down, hoping to get some of that blue Tiberium, and I was able to intercept that. So that is great for me, and I'm just going to chill as of now, get that tier 3 out. If I can get my technology assembler, then I can work on my Eradicator Hexapod, which is going to fund my army. I'm going to be able to use the Lifeform Recycler system that it has to get 15% of the unit's value that I kill for every single unit. That's how much the Eradicator Hexapod can give you. It's a very good unit to build as Scrin when you don't have any resources, or if you're low on resources. But I do have a half full green Tiberium field. I can even use the growth stimulators to generate 15 credits every 5 seconds, which is quite significant if this game goes on for a long period of time. Furthermore, it also does the same as the growth accelerator and increases the rate of which Tiberium grows by 50%. Those Mantis, by the way, just came in and absolutely wrecked my Storm Riders. Those go down. Tip spikes are no more for me, so I do lose my tip spikes. I got 5 harvesters on my main field. No expansion field set up for me, so I'm only on 1 base. Well, technically 2, kind of, if you count that I have some gravity stabilizers in the top of the map. I don't know if you can really count that though as a map. As a base, I mean, there is a stasis chamber there, so I do technically have ground control. I want to try and stop him getting that blue Tiberium, because if the Blackhand player starts to spam beam cannons, Redeemer and infantry, this is going to be terrible news for Reef 17, because I don't have any Devastator warships, man. I just don't have anything to counter that infantry. The only thing I can do is really face my Shardwalkers and crush all over the infantry, which is why I will not use my face field if I have no need to use it. Here is another change in R21J, and that has to do with the outpost. They are now $1,300. No more are they $1,400. Yes, that's right. It's been a very gradual decrease in cost. I don't want it to turn out to be like 1.03 where everyone uses the scout in the early game. So I'm incrementally, or the opposite of that is it decrementally decreasing the cost of that outpost to see where the sweet spot is. And I am noticing myself use those outposts more often because they only take 13 seconds to build. Tripod there just to provide some covers for the Mantis so I can fly my Storm Riders overhead. And there's no infantry yet. Looking out for it though. That's why I'm sweeping in and out just to see what kind of army I'm having to deal with. Eradicate Hexbot will be coming out. I am researching the blue shard upgrade, which is going to provide my Eradicate Hexbot with blue shards if I decide to put Ravager squads inside of it. And I will be putting one Ravager squad at least in that Hexbot because I get it, a Ravager, for setting off my Warp Chasm. Mantis there actually doing some work on that drone platform, getting it down to really low health. I accidentally force-fired the mecha head with my dev tank. That's a problem with this unit combination. You can accidentally kill your own mechapeds with the dev tank, so that's not the greatest synergy in the world unless your micro is godly, but even then everyone makes mistakes. And I actually overthought this situation that you're about to see. I'm going to pack up my drone platform and heal it with my corruptors so it can heal itself up, but that was not necessary there because the Scorp tanks immediately focus it down. That was me overthinking that situation, but it would have been great if I wasn't under attack because the corruptors can heal that drone ship as it is unpacking or packing, because temporarily it becomes a vehicle, which is what corruptors can heal. So I'm going for more mechapeds, but at this point really I need to go for shard walkers because I have enough anti-armor at this point. I've got mechapeds for my anti-infantry. Hexbot technically as well can deal with infantry in low numbers. But what I need is shard walkers now, as well as the attenuated force field upgrade, which only the Skrin and Reaper 17 factions gain access to. But this Eradicate Hexbot is moving in now. I've got so many harvesters leeching from this blue field. I need to transfer them over to the green middle field expansion, get a refinery established there. And after the craziness that was this early mid-game, I'm going to be able to establish an expansion either at my main original base or at the middle field. So there's no shortage in Tiberium in this game. There wasn't a need for me to use the growth stimulators. I know some people often say, Leaf, why are you not using those? Well, it depends on the nature of the game. If it's a slow game that I feel will last for like 10-20 minutes, then yeah, sure, it's a good idea. But in this situation here, where there's still plenty of Tiberium left on the map, it's best to contest the map and use every penny to make units. But there is a case to be made for Reaper 17 because they do get passive resources for using growth stimulators. That blue shard hexbot though came in clutch and destroyed that army of Scorpion tanks. That is it for that game there. That is on Tournament Highlands. I thought that was a pretty action-packed game, and I want to take you all onto Tournament Palantau, or whatever it's called. It's a pred map that is also in the 2v2 pack, but this is the 1v1 version coming up right now, so stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back to game number 2, which takes us to Tournament Palantau. Don't know how to pronounce this name of this map well, but it is a very pretty looking map. It is from the Predator era. Anyways, I'm going to be playing in the top of this map as the Might of Kane, and my opponent will be playing as the Traveler 59. But I did not know this at the time because I'm picking random as well as my opponent is. So there is 2 spikes on this map, so already I made a little bit of a mistake here in not knowing that there are 2 spikes per player. Not a good start from me. There's one in the top and also one in the bottom. I assumed that it was only on the 2v2 map that there was 2 spikes. Nonetheless though, you'll be starting off here with a little bit of a disadvantage. But you're soon going to learn that it's not going to matter, because in the early game the trap player opted for a descent rush to kill my spikes off, so it would not have mattered anyways if I had captured it. It would have been worse off though if he went for a simulator. He would have gotten that $500 bonus. Awakens can kill buzzers, the drafted Awakened squads, but only from maximum range. The only thing I know as of now is that my opponent is a Skrin faction. Now, I did work on this map a little bit, removing the health bars from all of those Nod stronghold objects in the bottom of the map. If you enable all health bars without R21 on this map, you're going to see a million health bars on this map from all of these different objects. To remove health bars, you have to add the ignored in GUI, kind of in the game object. For all of you modders out there, I don't think many people watch this game who do modding, I mean my videos, but that is how you remove health bars from objects. Since moving into my base, they're just walking into shredded turrets. Definitely welcome for me. Now I'm on 0 spike economy at this point, so no $600 per minute. My opponent has 2 spikes, so he is significantly ahead as far as that is concerned. He's going to have a total of $1,200 over me per minute, without accounting for the Tiberium situation. So it's basically free money for the person who has Tiberium spikes, because they never ever run out of resources. I built a shadow team here, but unfortunately for me, I opened fire at point blank range. Should have microed it out of the way, and then I could have killed those disintegrator squads without any casualties. Shadow turret comes down, and I'm gonna just about get another shadow team out, which is what I want, because I'm gonna start queuing engineers with the Simon Lick upgrade, and the purpose of this is for me to just walk them over to my opponent's spikes. This is how I'm going to deal with the spike disadvantage I currently have. I'm also going to use the lone shadow team to defend my spikes from getting recaptured. I'm going to use the third saboteur to capture the expansion point. So rather than me taking the risk in moving my construction yard to my expansion, I thought, hey, let's just build another engineer and take this field in the bottom, which has more Tiberium on it. Might be even worthwhile to place 3 refineries on that field, considering how much TIB's on it. It's comparable to the tournament decision TIB field. Now, I thought this was a pretty insane spike capture you're about to see. It was super clutch. Yeah, that was completely insane. I killed that buzzer just as the engineer was approaching that tip spike, literally milliseconds away from being killed. But that's good for me now, because there's a shadow team there to prevent the spike from getting recaptured. My opponent's going to have to dedicate a lot of attention and resources into Seekers and Gunwalkers before he can think of recapturing that tip spike. I've got a 2 spike advantage, but that is no more as that gets recaptured. It is equally easy for both of us to capture spikes now, because the trap player also has advanced articulators on their assimilators, which is the screen version of the engineer. But both of us have speedy engineers. Mine are a little bit faster. CS engineer right there. I don't really need to reveal these shadow teams, so I'm going to move my red buggy in. Mock and Blackhand buggies have stealth detection. The vanilla and odd ones, however, do not. And even more weird is the Kane buggy has half the detection range of the Blackhand Raider buggy. Why the Mock has stealth detection, I do not know, but I kept it that way because I think it's helpful for enlightened buggy strategies against GDI, where you need something to deal with sniper teams. A strategy seldom seen, and I didn't want to nerf it. Saboteur heading over for that refiner. I'm going to try and get it. I'm not sure if that was the high value target I was looking for. But nonetheless, I do manage to snare a harvester, so that saboteur killed a harvester pretty much, which was worth it. It's a small little victory. I put down a shredder turret just to kill that assimilator off. What I should have done here was continue to place down shredder turrets and kept that extractor under my control. It would have bought me time, and I would have diverted the attention of the trap player to his own base. I've got an expansion established now, however, which is great. And like I mentioned before, like, the army could have been sent over to the bottom of the map. Could have put down some quad turret, laser turrets as well. It's a $1,000 upgrade. Takes 30 seconds to research. There's 2 tip fields that have blue Tiberium on this map, one in the middle and one in the top. I should make an effort at this middle blue field, but not with all these forces here. And I think what I'm doing here is a bit of a mistake. I panicked and used a cloaking field, which is a $3,000 support power, and I saved, what, maybe 1 or 2 tanks there. So that was a waste of resources. That tip spike does get captured back, and the Seeker army still remains intact. So what I've done so far, aside from not taking the tip spike and the cloaking field, has been fine. Those are pretty big mistakes though. I need to not panic so much and use the cloaking field whenever I feel it's doing that much damage, like $3,000 of resources. I need to kill at least 10 squads of disintegrators for that to be worth it, or if it's to save my Redeemer, or if it's to cloak my units, then sure, it's worth it in that case. I'm soon going to be hit though in 2 sides at once, and this game is super intense. Super intense. There's a Seeker there detecting my harvester, so these mecha bees are getting free shots. I'm going to micro my harvester away. Obelisks are now working on these Mechapede. I'm focus firing the heads. I've got these buggies to defend my main base as well. Another Mechapede falls. That Seeker on low health is detecting my harvester and to pull those harvesters back. This is just really annoying for me. I don't want to lose any harvesters at all. The Seeker does finally go down. My tech center, I was distracted, so that does fall. But I was able to squeeze out 2 stealth tanks before losing my tier 3. Sold the tier 3 off though before it died, so I could get that tip trooper squad at full health. That's going to have the cybernetic leg upgrade, which is going to increase the movement speed of it. I used the EMP. I was able to lock down one of the Mechapedes so I can surgically kill it with those stealth tanks there. And I've got the raider buggies, many of which are damaged. Should get them to the war factory for some repairs. There are Mechapedes out here with shard segments. Those deal so much damage to disintegrators, and now I'm going to use the cloaking field once again on these disintegrators, but this time I felt like it was a worthwhile thing to do just to save my harvesters here, because a lot of them are really low on health. But I would have been floating 3 grand here if not for that cloaking field use. So the trap player keeping up this pressure definitely is forcing mistakes out of the defender, who currently at this time is me. Another Mechapede goes down there, and these Mechapedes, they are really not focusing on the stealth tank. I'd rather that he killed the buggies than those stealth tanks. At the same time though, I don't want to lose all these buggies, so I need to micro them and ensure that they are not going down. So I need to make up for the fact that I spent 3 grand on a cloaking field once again. I should put some shredder turrets on my tip field to prevent those disintegrator raids in the future, but it is chaos and carnage as of now. I got my 1 clicks. I'm going to kill another Mechapede there. Sell a power plant so I can EMP one of the Mechapedes. And I'm going to sell this tier 2 off as well, just so I can kill those mechas. And yeah, the tip trooper is slowing down those Mechapedes. It's going to buy my stealth tanks time to retreat. I'm going to focus down the other Mechapede, and I'm going to get some repairs for my stealth tanks. Each one of those stealth tanks is very vital for me to keep alive at this present time. My tech sensor getting targeted down once again, but my stealth tanks at full health will be able to promptly take care of that. I'm going for Vertigos now in response. I need something to get across the map and do some counter-attack damage. Vertigos are great in this situation because unlike the stealth tank, they can resist a storm column shot if storm column is dropped. In this community patch, storm columns don't they don't instantly attack the moment they are dropped. They have to wait until the structure has finished building, aka 4 seconds before sorry, it's 1.5 seconds before it can shoot. It has a 4-second reload time though. So I've got these stealth tanks out now. Need to be very careful that I don't run into some tripods doing some advanced recon in this map. And I'm actually getting myself back into this game after such a hectic first 10 minutes of this game. Just like the previous game, it's been absolutely hellish. forced the phase field there. So just like me using the cloaking field in panic, my opponent was forced to use the phase field on a singular harvester. So this is favorable for me. So if my opponent builds a hexpod or tripods, those can't be phased now. Got 4 vertigos out looking for a target. I see he's got a warp chasm. He's not currently building a hexapod, but it's only a matter of time before a hexpod is queued. And I'm thinking of using these stealth tanks in conjunction with the vertigos to bomb the warp chasm. That spike of mine does get captured once again. I think a Venom got destroyed there by the storm column. I want to make sure I don't have a rally point set to that storm column, so they don't get killed one by one. So I'm waiting for those stealth tanks, and yeah, the stealth tanks, unfortunately for me, were revealed by the buzzer hive. And I didn't want to go into that shock trooper squad because it can teleport on top of the stealth tanks and detect them. So I thought, hey, let's just go to the bottom of the map and retreat from these forces. But unfortunately for me, a Seeker is already out to greet these stealth tanks. I'm going to lose 2 of them. One does get out alive. I keep all 4 of my vertigos. Redeemer does come out. So I have an epic unit. My opponent doesn't have a tier 3. So there is a chance for me now to attack and do some damage. I'm going to send that Redeemer to my opponent. Also take this blue Tiberium because I'm running dry on Tiberium. Need to capture the spike as well. This is a map that I've never played so much of, and you don't really see a situation like this where one of the players has gone straight for the bottom field. That's the beauty of the expansion point being there. No shard launchers just yet, which means these vertigos are going to be able to wreak even more havoc. Stealth tank force fire in the ground. A little bit of a misclick. And I'm thinking of using the T-Vapor Bomb on this tech lab. If I can get this and prevent the hexbot from coming out, then there is a really good shot that I can take this game. But sadly for me, just as that was about to land, the storm column got the kill. What I should have done there was use the mag drop along with the T-Vapor Bomb. The mag mine Vertigo Armageddon Bomber would have forced the storm column to shoot it first, and then the Vapor Bomb would have gone in and killed the warp chasm. So these little plays here are going to be very costly for me in the long run, and I was punished there, and the Eradicator Hexpod does come out. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Redeemer will be forced to make a runner for it. Venom's also going down there as I was focused predominantly on this location. Tripods get teleported into EMP my Redeemer, but I am slowing them down with my Tip Trooper Garrison. The Redeemer's Tip Trooper Garrison can slow those forces down, but I had the Redeemer on hold fire. I should have actually kept it on guard stance. It would have slowed those forces down considerably. Maybe could have saved my Redeemer, but probably not, because there was a Eradicator Hexpod there. So there is mistakes that I'm witnessing in this game after watching it. Starting to place down the Shredder turret so I can kill that Prodigy, because he's obviously going to attempt to teleport in and take out that Conyard. Summon in the Sea Tiberium, which is what you should periodically do as a Nob player. Here is the Mastermind, and I'm punished here for not getting the quad turret upgrade. If I had quad turrets, that Prodigy would have failed, but I don't think it would have mattered because there's so many corruptors. I do have EMP squads and these stealth tanks targeting down those corruptors. The EMP squad of the sold off MCV going to be used on my stealth tanks, and this Eradicator Hexpod is trying to focus down these stealth tanks. They're going to kill a lot of those corruptors though. And phase field once again will be used on this Hexpod. He's going to save his corruptors and his Hexpod. So yeah, I'm looking back at this game and I'm making a series of mistakes, a series of errors. I only have aircraft to build it now. Like what you see here is all I have left. I can't build any more infantry or vehicles, so these 2 avatars, 2 stealth tanks, and single enlightened squad as well as these Vertigo bombers are all that I have left. What I'm thinking of doing is drawing in my opponent's army onto the tip field and using the Tiberium Vein detonation on it. I can win this game. I can win a decisive battle if I can draw those tripods onto the tip field. I'm pulling in his army so I can use that support power. But I thought here's a great chance for me to just kill these tripods right here and now by focus firing in between both of them. And there you see those go down. Maybe this is a bit preemptive, this tip vapor bomb, because at the same time, yeah, he does have those crouches though, so those did go down. The Venoms are taking out the tripods. This Hexpod is not garrisoned up with shock troopers, which is probably what he is regretting at this point. And I made another mistake here. I did not realize just how much damage these Devastator warships could do against stealth tanks. But one of the stealth tanks would have died anyways because a storm column does get dropped. Prodigy coming in, that will go down. As long as I can keep this Prodigy from area mine controlling my stealth tank, I'm going to be all good in this game. And what my plan here is at this point is to try and damage those Devastator warships and then gain veterancy on my stealth tank. If I can kill all the Devastators with my stealth tank, maybe it can go heroic, and maybe I won't need any more vehicles. We all know one stealth tank is all you need in this game, and a bunch of Venoms if you're against Traveler 59. So there is an out for me winning this game still, but it's going to be tight. There is some Seekers out here. I'm going to take out that. There's also a bunch of Cultists as well, going to obviously built to counter my Avatars and stealth tanks as well as Enlightened. Very good unit against Master Kane. And that stealth tank did take some chip damage from those Devastators. You've got to be really quick in shooting and then running. I was unfortunately hit by the Devastators there. And the stealth tank will go down, unfortunately, but that is going to be it for me. I do have only Venoms left, and with the anti-air that Scrin has on this map now, it's just not possible for me anymore to win this match. And I thought, looking back at this game, there is a lot of things I could have done better. If you spotted anything else in this game, then let me know in the video description, in the comment section down below, sorry, and I'll read it. I do believe, though, I had a chance to win there, despite the economic disadvantage I had, despite me having way lost resources. I think I could have won that game, despite the errors made. But I thought it was a cool game nonetheless to showcase on that map. I haven't really showed it on this channel before. Some awesome moments there, especially with the Shadow Team intercepting the sniper of the Saboteur early on, and then the stealth tank attacks and all these Mecha P versus stealth tank engagements. I thought it was really hectic and it was great to watch. Anyways, thank you very much guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed those two games there, and I've got some more action to show you all. I'm going to be streaming and playing way more now. That means you're going to see more content on my channel. I no longer have to do a patch, and that is great. So this is it from me. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button. I'd really do appreciate that. And before I leave, I'd like to say a big thank you to my Patreon supporters for continuing to support my channel, this patch that I'm working on, as well as the many other things I'm doing to contribute towards this community. I really appreciate the support. Without you, I would not have probably found the motivation to do what I did and continue doing. So this is it from me, guys. This is me, Master Leaf. I'll see you all later.